thank you so much for being here with us this evening. I know we've had several conversations, and I must tell you that late last night I spoke to him at around 11:30 p.m. Through his colleague Saurabh's phone, and he said, if you want to see it at 12 o'clock, you can come. Otherwise, by 2 o'clock in the morning, I will make sure that it's there with you. Or by 8 in the morning, I will definitely send it across for you to check whether it works fine and all that. So he's been up all night virtually working on this documentary. Why don't you share with us the importance of the message today, and also what went into making of the film, and also explain the tracking of the lead that comes from Italy to India.
Thank you for offering this platform to pass on our message. So when you appreciate my filmmaking, I blush because I didn't make this film. It made itself. It was already made. This I made. I'm happy that I got the stage to exhibit here in a bigger platform than we had originally planned as a centrist group. And I'm happy it's happening here. And this is a message. That's why I did not add a title, a film by Kamal Haasan. The hero of the film and the writer of the film is Mr. Gandhi. Mr. M.K. Gandhi. And the passing on of the message is the onus is upon us, as he said. All I can say for his message is, Ji Gopal ji, karenge. So that's what we are doing. A man who made his life a message, we are passing it on. We are not propagandists. We want to live like that.
When you say we are passing on the message, we are passing on that message to a next generation. It is incumbent upon the generation that saw it to pass the knowledge and the experience on to the next generation. Do you believe that the discussion on the Mahatma has fallen prey to political partisanship and a polarized political environment in terms of judging history?
No. Gandhi made his life a message because of this dichotomy. When he came here, he found the best way to deal with it. He's a tactician. Please do not misunderstand the word tactics for deceit. He's a kind man. And he knew that this country, which has so many cultures, so many languages, first can be communicated only with love and kindness. So he chose that path. Instead of deceit or revolt, because the world had seen enough. Second World War was done. And he saw it, the inception of it. And he saw where it ended. And he wrote a letter even to Hitler. They heckled him. And now we are passing on the message.
So what's the lesson for today's politicians and those who speak of ideology or in public service from the Mahatma? What do you think is the most important message, and what's perhaps most lost?
The most important message from my side, it's not my wisdom, it's my feeling. Please stop calling him Mahatma. He is a mortal, but his idea is immortal. So he is an idea, and we have to absorb it and pass it on.
Are we mature enough as a society to understand a personality as an idea and, discuss him in a dispassionate manner?
Instead of asking you a question in return, I'll ask it of myself. How mature was I when I bashed an icon called Gandhi? I started that way. Because icon bashing was a sport in that age. Anybody, from headmaster to class teacher to Gandhiji, anybody was a target. And I matured from there to sit here on the stage. I'm sure Zenzi will conduct a show like this and talk about him, and we'll be watching from there.
I hope we will be watching from there, but what I want to ask you is that the ability of a society and people, when we celebrate somebody as an enormous figure, and it doesn't have to be just the Mahatma Gandhi.
That's where I think we're all missing the point. Don't celebrate somebody, celebrate the idea, because the man, like all of us, will be dead and gone. What he left behind is gold.
But are we moving away from it in an Instagram generation where people seem to be more driven by personalities and celebration and instant gratification rather than actually reflecting?
That's what they said of cinema. Even Gandhiji did not like cinema. My second favorite, another Gandhi Chela, Periyar, didn't like cinema. But that didn't stop me from liking them, because I was not liking them as persons, but I liked the idea and the purpose. And we can use the Instagram and talk to that generation. We must have the humility to talk to them and not talk down to them.
That's a fascinating point. Not talk down, but talk to them. I want to move forward to other topics and conversation, but I'm finding it difficult to move away from this one, which is so powerful.
No, I've been suffering for many years. Once with guilt and now with pride. I cannot get out of this discussion of this man. And somebody asked me, what, you're trying to become Gandhi? All of you try. Doesn't matter who succeeds. I'm trying. So should you.
So what's changed, let's say, from Hey Ram to now?
I'm being more succinct. Hey Ram was a 3.5-hour movie. This is 6 or 7 minutes. I have matured, sir.
So that's the maturity. Or are you adapting to the Instagram generation to give it just, a shorter duration so that you get more views?
Imagine what Valluvar would have done with Instagram. Succinct and shoot from the hip. That's what it would have done.
No, it's fascinating that you say this. I'm just moving forward to a topic perhaps linked to the celebration of personalities. Tamil Nadu politics, and when we discuss politics in Tamil Nadu, it's so intertwined with cinema. What is this connection? And I'm not talking of personalities. I want to understand, is there something deep in the socio-economic ethos of Tamil Nadu that makes it, or of Tamil cinema, that makes it so intertwined with the politics of the state?
No, it so happened that the hub of cinema of India were happening in 2-3 places, and mainly in Bengal, Bombay to an extent, but the pan-Indian cinema was being produced from Chennai. I'm not bragging. You can check. And when we started with Keechakavadam. And it didn't connect with people. They've heard better renditions of it by Harikatha Upanyasaks. They were the stars of the time. So cinema didn't connect because they can hear a better version of it on stage, sitting in their village and listening to a pundit speak on it. Then the business of cinema realized that you need more audience. And to touch the audience, you'll have to touch their problem. And then moved in the politicians. It was a fantastic stage. It was cheaper. And you don't need permission. And then came the censors. So that's a long story.
It's a fascinating story that you say, but what does it take for a star to transform himself into a politician? If I ask you this, you will say that you were always a politician or an ideologue at some level.
No, you can't escape. If you're voting, even notas are politicians. You have to be politician. Politician doesn't mean wearing the garb and talking that lingo. You have to think the idea of politics and why it's there, and you have to participate. Otherwise, politics will take over your personal life, which it's starting to do now.
You know, you say you don't have to speak that lingo, but have you started speaking that lingo? Have you had a force to speak?
Does it sound like that, sir?
No, not here.
I can, because I'm an actor. I can get into character. But I have practiced it. My first dialogue, or many actors' first dialogue to enter into the industry, the litmus test, was Parashakti dialogue. We were all politicized. நீதிமன்றம் விசித்திரமான பல வழக்குகளை சந்தித்திருக்கிறது, விசித்திரமான மனிதர்களையும் சந்தித்திருக்கிறது. வழக்காடும் நான் விசித்திரமான மனிதனும் அல்ல, இவ்வழக்கு விசித்திரமானதும் அல்ல. That's how he started. And we memorized it. I was 4 when I was politicized. I was 4 when I learned Tamil. And my Tamil teachers taught me for free. And the primary among them was Kalaignar. And my pronunciation came from Shivaji Saab. And my deeper understanding of the language came from Kannadasan. That is Tamil cinema for you, with or without politics. It taught me language.
Is that the core connection? Is that the core connection of language which is driving politics as well at some level? And also the language identity that's espoused in cinema?
Yes, language will drive politics, be it Bihar or be it Tamil Nadu. The word
does it drive
of
Tamil Nadu?
Atal Bihari Vajpayee Saab is lilting, so is Kalaignar's.
But does it drive, you know, where does it, and I'll ask you this question, and I know, you know, you have very strong positions on this, and I do too, and I'm as passionate, maybe not as well versed as you, so I'm definitely not as well versed as you are, but passionate about language and my identity. But I ask you this, when does love for language turn into a frenzy? When does it turn into a political ideology, and is it healthy?
See, love for anything, father, mother, woman, girlfriend, wife, is a two-way action. So language is my cultural pride. And that's where it stays. I love my language. To love my language, I don't have to hate another. If I want him to love my language, I can love his language, but do not impose it on us. Leave the choice to the people. And in the process of earning a living, whatever language comes my way or anybody's way, they will learn it. It's just a communication device. But when it comes to me personally, it's my feeling, it's my expression. And it's me. Most of me is my language.
Do you believe that there is an atmosphere of imposition genuinely? Because in spirit, the argument of imposition, if I were to argue, has just helped fuel a particular political narrative? Or do you believe there is substantive evidence to show that there is an effort to impose?
Love should never become toxic. It's mutual. Be it marriage of languages, it cannot be toxic and it cannot be imposed. Leave us the choice. I left the choice to myself. I didn't allow anyone to impose on it. And I learnt Hindi at age 27. I didn't know a word of Hindi. The very little Hindi I knew was my friends calling me names, and I said, "What are you calling me?" He said, "It's a bad word, so teach me that." That is the first Hindi I learned. That's how a Hindi man learns Tamil also. But then hate becomes love and he dives deep into the language. That's how I went to learn. I furthered my Hindi education and learned Hindi and spoke dialects in it. But I can't write Hindi at all. But I can very barely manage to. So I have the dubious distinction of being not so literate in about 6 languages. And maybe a scholar in 3 or wannabe scholar in 3.
Okay.
You want to know which 3?
Yeah, which 3?
Tamil, English, and cinema.
As a language. Cinema as a language.
Cinemas can speak any language.
As
With subtitles, of course.
No, interesting that you say that. I was actually going to ask you, at some level, where do you stand on the 2-language versus 3-language formula argument that's on? Do you see a 3-language formula as an imposition? And I'm bringing another side of the argument here, because when you hear it in Chennai, the argument sounds very different from when you hear it in Delhi.
It depends on where the formula is formulated. I'm not going to gulp down any formula you give me. I want to know which laboratory it came from. So formulas are formulas. My need is people's need. Formulate an idea that will be useful for my need.
So you don't see this debate as something that's only divisive on political lines? Do you believe that the 2-language versus 3-language formula debate is a genuine one? And Tamil Nadu...
Now let's broaden this issue and take it to 2-3 languages to 20 languages. Let them learn it at their leisure, at their convenience. Do not thrust it down my throat. Do not give me marks. I want to earn my right to speak my language, and I want to earn wealth. And I'll go anywhere. I'll go to America and speak like an American. Many Indians are doing it. I'm not being parochial and say many Tamilians are doing it, many Punjabis are doing it, many Gujaratis are doing it, many Malayalis are doing it. Of course, we'll carry our accent with us. We'll never let it go. Anybody who lets go and becomes very Yankee in their speech, we just laugh, smirk among ourselves, but we'll never insult him because he's trying to belong.
No, interesting that you say that. And it's a very important, nuanced point that you're making, saying do it out of choice, let people do it out of choice, and let's move forward, in the right spirit. I'm going to broaden this discussion again into something a little more intensely political, which is about the center-state relations. You've had a confrontational situation between the center and the states and virtually several opposition rule states, and you're now a Rajya Sabha MP. How do you negate this in Delhi? What's your sense after you've been a parliamentarian in terms of the center's approach? Are you able to see both sides of the coin, or do you still believe that this divide is something that's going to define politically the relationship between states and center in India?
The coin is mine. I'll look at the side I want to. I'm not going to toss it up and wait for you to win or me to win. The coin is ours. Whichever side you want. Depends on where you place the coin and which side you're standing on it. The coin is useful for both of us. And it's just currency.
No, but what you're saying, and I'll jump into Tamil here a little bit, saying that, I was speaking to somebody the other day when I'd come, and I said, our sir kitta kelvi ketta, sir nalla badal solvaru, ana engalukku dhaan puriya maatennadhu enna solrarundrathu.
அது என்ன சொல்றீங்கன்னா சில சமயம் என்ன கெட்ட வார்த்தையில திட்டுவாங்க. எனக்கு அதெல்லாம் தெரியலைங்க, என்ன சொல்றீங்கன்னு தெரியலங்கிறது தான் பெஸ்ட் ஆன்சர். அப்படியா சொன்னேன்னு கேட்டா ஆமான்ட்டான்னா என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? அதனால தான் கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. புரியலைங்கிறது இட்ஸ் a better answer because they don't have to answer me. புரியலன்ட்டா பாவம் புரியலன்னு விட்டுருவேன். நான் தொடர்ந்து வந்து சொல்லிக்கிட்டே இருப்பேன் உங்களுக்கு புரியிற வரலாம்.
You still, the beauty of this conversation is that you still speak like an ideologue, less like a politician. You spoke about lingo. I want to understand this one thing. What has been, and this is the first interview I think you're doing after you've become a Rajya Sabha MP. What has parliamentary politics done to you? How is the sense and the feeling of being in parliament? Can you remain an ideologue? Do you believe that there are compromises that you'll have to do on the way?
That's the difficulty of democracy. It is not going to be easy. Politics is layered. So are my films. It is difficult to make a layered film. It's difficult to handle layered politics. The only defense I have is my constitution. I hug it tightly to my chest.
What is it that makes a star successful in politics? In Tamil Nadu, for instance, and let me be a little challenging to you. In Tamil Nadu, we've seen legendary NGR, Purachi Talaivar, become chief minister. Shivaji sir came into politics, but he couldn't really make much of an impact. What is it that defines a star?
Can you tell me when Shivaji Sahab came into politics?
He dabbled with the Congress for a bit in the middle.
No. He started with DMK. He was the hero of DMK.
That's right.
Till the advent of MGR. Before he was there, who was the hero of Parashakti? The mascot film of DMK.
That's right.
So he was there, but then Periyar was in Congress.
No, but let me ask you this, electoral politics, what do you think is the recipe for a star to be successful in electoral politics? And you know what my next question is going to be.
A very important thing for, it started with Gandhi. Even he needed image to support it. So he allowed cameras, he allowed telegraph, and he himself used telegraph, telegraphs and all that. So cinema is a medium which is audio and visual, the mic and the face. So best possible stage, and Goebbels taught us the negative side of it, and we used it positively in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, you're saying you use it positively in Tamil Nadu. I know you don't want to talk much about your colleague from the film industry who has launched his own political party now, Vijay. I know I don't want to go too much into it, but I want to ask you, what's your own sense of the political battle that's shaping up in Tamil Nadu for 2026? Do you see it emerging as a strong three-way fight? How do you see it playing out?
We are still archaic in our approach. We call it a battle. It is not. The idea is to avoid battle and to make it a peaceful announcement of pulling down a regime or putting up a regime.
But will it work in electoral politics? Does it work in electoral
It should. If it doesn't, we'll reform it.
But for that reform, you need power.
I'm not alone. We will reform it. If somebody says, oh, you can, we must.
But what if we don't?
Who?
We don't.
Then the noose is around your neck, not mine.
So again, you've not answered the question that I asked you. What do you think of this election? How do you think this is shaping up?
See, I'm not an astrologer nor a media man. Whichever way it shapes, I will stand by the Tamil people. People say failure is not an option. Failure is there. You want to go towards it or not is the option.
So tell me something, you speak to a lot of politicians, you're part of an alliance. Do you speak like that with the other leaders as well when they come up with questions to you? Like for instance, as M&M chief, when you go and meet the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin to discuss alliance, is this how the conversation is?
You must ask him that. Because I am part of the alliance, but he has the magnanimity to tell the truth. He will tell you.
No, but your conversational approach would be the same. Do you have the conversation the same way? I mean,
That's an in-camera conversation. How could I tell it in front of your camera?
so on camera, Kamal Haasan's different from what he is off camera.
Of course, I'm an actor.
That's a good political answer also.
It is a political answer. I'm a political actor.
See, you see, I've drawn the politician out of you.
Of course. But it took some time. புரியலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. இப்ப புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். I've always been a politician. Watch films made by from Varmai Niran Sevappu to Viswarubam to even Vikram. You watch. Tell me where there is not politics. ஒரு பாட்டிலையாவது வச்சிருவேன். பத்தல.
No, but that's fascinating, and I think I must confess here that I'm a fan of your cinemas. Not, I mean, you know.
Oh,
as an actor,
I
yes.
want you to become a fan of my politics as well. I'll try hard.
You see, I'm trying to understand your politics.
I didn't have many fans when I started in cinema. Let me tell you, they were all spread all around. I worked my way towards them, and I'll work my way towards you.
You know, tell me something. Do you feel disheartened at some point of time with the kind of results that you get when you contest an election? You know, you've contested an election and you've dared to go out and challenge yourself in terms of being in electoral politics. Do you feel disheartened sometime, or do you feel that it's again a lesson for you that there's much more work to be done?
Of course, it's a lesson. And you tell me that my first film that I wrote, I was 18 then. And my elder brother, R.C. Shakti, allowed me to become his partner. Usually they'll say, you be my assistant. I'll give you an opportunity to work with me. He gave me a title. So you can imagine the excitement I had. And he said, nobody wants to act in a script like that. Will you act? And that's how I became an actor. I wanted to be an assistant director and a writer. From there, I have traveled.
No, I want to.
So failure, the Unarchigal was a failure. I couldn't understand. I did my best. And then I took the same film and made it in Malayalam. It became a hit. It was called Rasalila. And I came back here. And the same language I used in Unarchigal, I used in Padanar Vaidanle. Well, that's how I learned. So Coimbatore is probably Rasalila.
So where is the next?
Not mine.
So where is the next? Which is the next? How is it going to get rebranded at next election? Where is it going to be for you?
I'll tell my party that.
Will it be in 2026?
My party will be there, which means I'm there.
You will be there yourself as a candidate?
Now, that's an in-camera discussion again.
So, okay, let me just last couple of questions, and you know, I do want to ask you a couple of questions on cinema, but the last one on politics. But how has it been being part of an alliance in Tamil Nadu and being in Parliament in Delhi? You know, what do you see your own role in, as far as the part of this alliance is concerned, and in these elections? What do you see? Do you see yourself as the star campaigner?
I can only talk for myself and the leader of the alliance, because of whom I am there in this alliance. Some of us have become very close friends in the alliance. And the reason is both emotional, national, and sensible. When I'm in Delhi, I'll speak for Tamil Nadu. When I'm in Tamil Nadu, I have to make them understand the whole of India, not Delhi, the whole of India. I'll speak for India everywhere.
You know, it's fascinating that you say this. I hope and pray that it's true that, you know, these ideals can be followed in politics, but sometimes the skeptic in all of us tends to question whether this is actually true or this is just an act.
No, don't question politics. Keep the skeptic alive and ask bigger questions. I have already asked it. I've asked it of God, and these are mere mortals. That's what I feel.
எப்பொருள் யார் யார் வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள்
மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பது அறிவு. மெய் என்பதை ஸ்கெப்டிக்கலாக பார்த்துட்டோம்னா எதுவுமே மெய் இல்லை. இது மெய்யா இருக்க கூடுமோன்னு சந்தேகப்பட்டுட்டோம்னா அதான் சத்தியமே விஜயத்தை.
As I conclude this conversation, sir, I want to know, failure in cinema, failure of a film, not in cinema, failure of a film and failure in electoral politics. Which one do you think is more troublesome, or are they both the same?
Troublesome because I produce films. I don't produce politics. They do. So this is convenient, and that's why I want them to come to the booth without fear.
Fascinating, and I'm sure I can't let you go without either singing a song or giving us one dialogue that you think is befitting this election narrative in Tamil Nadu.
I'll translate it in Tamil. It's Atal Bihari Vajpayee's statement. I'll take the words wherever I get it from. Regimes will come, regimes will go. The nation will continue. I am a citizen. I am a part of this nation. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா அரசுகள் வீழும் எழும், நாடு நகர்ந்து கொண்டே இருக்கும் நாளையை நோக்கி. அந்த நாளை நமதாக வேண்டும்.
For a large national audience, you want to do that in Hindi as well? You want to do the same dialogue in Hindi as well?
No, I'll do it in Delhi. These are my kind of people.
So in Tamil Nadu, it's still two-language policy. I can't tell you how fascinating this conversation was. We started with perhaps an extraordinary idea, the idea of Gandhi. And as we leave this conversation, I just want to ask you, what would be your final message that we take home today when we think of Gandhi?
Think of yourself. You'll find him there, somewhere in one corner. His ideas, not him. And that's the message you should take. Keep searching. Searching within yourself, and you'll find first yourself and other great ideas. And Gandhi will be there, I'm sure. He belongs to the pantheon of ideas, not gods.
And search for Gandhi as an idea. Thank you so much,
thank you,
Dr. Kamal Haasan, for having this fascinating conversation.
Thank you.
And sharing.
And thank you again, NDTV, you, for giving this platform for my Gandhi. Thank you.
It's our Gandhi. I've learned to speak like you.
I want you to join me. That's why, that's a hook.
Thank you
and
so
you
much.
swallowed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.